Just put your hand over your eyes. I open my eyes to receive, to see a spiritual truth today. I open my ears to hear the spiritual truth today. Now over your heart and extend out your arm. I open my heart to receive the spiritual truth today. The spiritual truth that I'm working with was actually authored by what is called, who the person called, often called the father of New Thought, Ralph Waldo Emerson. And what he said was this. He said, what lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. What lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And what he was talking about was the very presence of God that lies within us, that gives us our real power in the universe. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about God in within. That's not what I'm talking about today. What I want to talk about today is what we put in that covers up the expression of God that we are. What happens is we put stuff inside of us that is our lies, and those lies cover up the understanding of the power that we have here. Sometimes when I hear myself tell lies or I hear other people tell lies, I just want to say, liar, liar, pants on fire, you know? But the truth is, if somebody came to me and said, Reverend Georgia, I feel like you're telling a lie, I would be offended because I don't know it. And what we don't know, we can't fix. So it's important, I think, for us to spend a few minutes looking at a series of lies that often all of us tell ourselves. Now, I could do this for a whole year because there's more than just 10. I'm going to run through 10 really quickly here. But there are many, many more than that. These are 10 that I think I hear myself say often, or if not often, sometimes, and some of them often. So let's get right to, you know, if you're visiting here today and you think, oh my gosh, I came to hear about God. I didn't come here for a self-help lecture here. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. This sermon is all about God. It's all about God. Because what happens when we tell these lies that I'm going to talk about, when we tell those lies to ourselves, we slam the door on God. We just slam the door. I'm not interested, God, in understanding the peace that I have. Amen? All right, so number one. Number one is, I don't know. I don't know. That's a big old whopper. If we could get rid of that, why, we would instantly raise the vibration of every single person. A more honest response is, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know, how do you feel about that? I don't know. What would you like to do about that? I don't know. What do you think your next steps are? I don't know. What would you like to say to me? I don't know. What we really want to say is, I don't want to say. Because every time we say, I don't know, here's what we do. We slow down the progress that we make in becoming the bigger people our soul wants to become, the bigger expressions of God that our soul wants to express through. The truth is, we know everything. There's only one mind. That mind is perfect. That mind is God's mind. That mind is my mind now. There's only one mind. That mind is perfect. That mind is God's mind. And that mind is my mind now. Everything God knows, you know. Everything God knows, you know. But we have to open up to that possibility and accept it as truth. A friend of mine went back to school when she was in her 40s, and they told her she was going to have to take algebra. And she said, oh, I didn't even like the name algebra. I mean, it just scared me. Everything about the thought of, I didn't even know really what it was, but it scared me, algebra. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it. And so she went to the class, she studied all her lessons, she did all her homework, and it came time for the test. And she thought, I'm not going to pass this test. But as she's walking up, she remembers what she's been taught in a church just like this. And she said to herself, there's only one mind. That mind is perfect. That mind is God's mind. That mind is the mind of the person who wrote this test. That mind is the person who's grading this test. And that mind is my mind now. There's only one mind. That mind is perfect. That mind is God's mind. That mind is my mind now. If we can make that our mantra everywhere we go, where we need to know something that we think we don't know, instead of saying, I don't know next time, try this mantra. Try that out. You might want to say, I don't consciously know. That's what I'm going to try and say. Every time I want to say, I don't know, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try and say, I don't consciously know. Because it doesn't let me off the hook of saying that I don't know. Now, here's the number one reason that I think people say, I don't know. I think people say, I don't know, because after that, if they know something, they might have to act on it. See? If we were able to separate those two things, I don't know is one thing, and I have to act on it is quite another. Just stay for a month with I know. Doesn't mean you have to act on it. And if you know, and then you think you have to act on it, and it's still too scary, find a practitioner in this church. Use this church. Practitioners here will help take the fear out of what you know your next step is. And they will begin to help you make that happen. But you know, deep inside, there's a story of Dr. Beckwith, Michael Beckwith, and he said that at some point during his meditation, it came to him that he had to get rid of all his stocks. He had to liquidate all of his stocks. So he went to his broker and he said, I want you to liquidate all my stocks. And the broker said, wisely, that's really not a good idea, Dr. Michael. That's really not a good idea at all. And Michael said, I have that wisdom. I know I have to liquidate all the stocks. And he did. And 2 weeks later, the stock market began to go really bad. Okay? We know so much more than we're willing to say. Number 2, I forgot. I forgot. Second lie, I forgot. As if we could forget. Where does it go? Do we take it out of our head and we put it somewhere else? No. It's, if you had it, you had it. And you can have it again. It's, one of those lies that helps us create destructive patterns for ourselves and sabotage ourselves. Lets us off the hook. I forgot. We can't forget anything. Nothing is forgotten. Nothing is forgotten. So the next time you say, I forgot, begin to look at what it is you're forgetting. Are you forgetting to pick up something at the store? Are you forgetting the date of a project? What is it you're forgetting? And begin to look at it and invite the answer, why did I forget? And see if it's not contributing to some self-sabotaging behavior. Number 3, I can't. I can't. Big whopper. Big whopper. I can't. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The truth would be better to say that I choose not to. See, when we're saying I can't, generally, and there are many of us in this room who've been to an Al-Anon meeting or two, and here's what happens when we say I can't. Generally, we're protecting our feelings from somebody else's reaction. See, I really can't go back to school because my wife, my spouse, my husband really wouldn't like that. I can't. What is it? We can't. Almost anything that we say that we can't do. I can't leave this relationship because I don't know how I'd live without that person. I don't know how I'd get by financially. I don't know where I'd be. I don't know what I'd do. I know it's a destructive relationship for me, but I can't leave it. No, I choose not to leave it. I choose not to go back to school. I can't leave that job because I don't know if there's enough money to feed my family. I choose. There may be a good reason for not doing something, but don't say, I can't. Begin to invite yourself to say, I choose not to. The fourth one is, they made me. You made me do it. The kids made me do it. Somebody made me do it. My boss made me do it. Nobody can make you do anything. Nobody can make you lose your temper. Nobody can make you gossip and hurt somebody's reputation. Nobody can make you, it can't make you do anything. There's nothing that anybody else can make you do. They can try, but if you do it, it's because you're choosing to do it. Nobody can make you spend money. Viktor Frankl, when he was in the Holocaust, he said he could walk 3 feet this way, he could walk 3 feet this way, he could walk 3 feet ahead of him and 3 feet behind him. He said, I walked all over Europe. I met some of the most interesting people on the planet because they were not going to make me lose my freedom. Nobody can make us do anything. It's our choice. Number 5 is there's not enough, I'm not enough, you're not enough, there's not enough. Look, you're in a metaphysical church and you cannot have it both ways. Either we live in an infinite universe or we don't. We either live with an infinite amount of money or we don't. We either live with an infinite amount of friends or we don't. We either live with an infinite amount of love or we don't. There's always enough. There's more than enough. But once we get that in our head, then we've got to start looking for it. We've got to start looking for the enough. You want more of something in your life? Look, you are at one of the greatest places on the planet to be able to have tools to get that which you want. CSA is designed to help you be and get what it is you want. Now look, if there's some people here saying, oh, I knew it now, here they come, they're just going to get more money, they're going to get more stuff. We don't care. If you want stuff, I want to help you get stuff. Believe me, I do. Because I don't have any judgment about it. But what we're really talking about is get more of the true connection that you want in life that makes us happy. We've got the tools, but you've got to be able to use them. You know, a scalpel will not do surgery without somebody wielding the scalpel. A hammer will not build a house without somebody banging on the hammer. It's up to you to take these tools, to learn them, to come to classes. You know, Reverend Betsy says that the people who are using the tools of forgiveness that she's teaching are working so hard and making such progress in their forgiveness work that she's so excited when she goes home at night she can barely go to sleep. That's what it means to us when you come here. That's what it means to every minister, every practitioner in this church. When you come here and you learn the tools and you begin to use them, we can barely contain ourselves, the joy that we have. Number 5 is, 6. Are they coming up here? 6. I'm not alone. I'm all alone. You're not all alone. You're not alone. You know, in the Talmud it is written, with every blade of grass, there is an angel that bows over that single blade of grass and whispers, grow, grow. Each one of you have angels whispering, grow, grow. They're all around you. God is in form all around you as an angel whispering to you, grow, grow. What can I do to help you grow? Grow. But here's the thing, your angels aren't mind readers. They're not mind readers, okay? You got to ask. One of the greatest issues we have in moving ourselves spiritually forward is the difficulty we have in asking. Number 7 is it's impossible. There is nothing impossible. Nothing is impossible. You know, we're flying in the air. That looked impossible at one point. Fax machines still trip me out when stuff comes over the fax machine. That looked impossible to me. The World Wide Web, it looked impossible We can speak to people in Italy right now if we wanted to. There are going to be some hearing this sermon because of the World Wide Web. So many things looked impossible. Interracial marriage looked impossible. Gay marriage looked impossible. It's not impossible. There's nothing impossible. Get rid of that lie. Every time you hear you say it, lie, lie, pants on fire. Number 8, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Big lie. Big lie. And here's what happens. All of us are like this sometimes. You know, we want to say something to somebody. We're afraid how it's going to land. And so we try and couch it in some kind of humor. And we say, oh, only joking, only kidding. Oh, you're so sensitive. You know, they rip your heart out. Oh, you're so sensitive. Oh, why you do that? Okay? Big lie. Didn't mean it. What we ask you to do here is to really pay attention to this whole notion of living amends. It doesn't do any good to say, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. You know, oh, that just makes me crazy. If I hurt your feelings. No. You see me crying here? You hurt my feelings, okay? Not your responsibility, but you did do it, okay? All right. So what we ask for is what we talk about in recovery, which is called living amends. Living amends. And that simply means you make a commitment not to do it again, and you hold yourself responsible for monitoring doing it again. The next one is, it was just a coincidence. There are no coincidences. You are here by divine appointment. Everything in your life is by divine appointment. There is nothing that happens to you or I that is not by divine appointment. And we have an opportunity to learn from each one of those encounters. Now, in order to really make this work, you have to let go of blaming the victim. You have to let go of blaming yourself. If something negative happens in your life and the preacher says it's by divine appointment, then our left brain goes to, oh, I caused it to happen. Okay, don't worry about that. That's a ridiculous conversation to have with yourself, whether you caused it to happen or not. The question you want to ask yourself is, what does it mean from this moment forward? What does it mean from this moment forward? And begin to work from that place. Number 10. I'm almost made it. Number 10. It's better left alone. It's better if you leave it alone. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Okay, that's not the one. It's called It's Better. I changed it. You know me. Okay. So I forgot to tell the videographer. Okay. So it's better left alone. Okay. Here's the problem with that. The it that you want to leave alone is what's dragging you down on your spiritual path. The it that you want to leave alone is the very thing that needs to be dealt with. So the next time you hear yourself say it's better left alone, what you're really saying is, I don't want to poke that devil. I don't want to poke that because I could make it worse. And that's true, you could, on its way to getting better. But if you really want to step into a bigger expression of who you are, you better get your devil poking stick out and start using it. Because when we stick our head in the sand, we can't go anywhere. Our feet will move around, but our head is stuck right in the sand. And here's the bonus lie. It's better for the family if I just leave it alone. It's better for the family if I just leave it alone. Okay? If you hear yourself say that, you call a practitioner. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's take this message into prayer, knowing that there's only one heart and one mind, and it's the heart and mind in God. It's also my mind. Knowing that the universal presence always says yes to my desires, I turn my attention to those desires that I am willing to hear a yes for. I'm willing to hear an end to homelessness. I am willing to hear an end to hunger. I am willing to hear an end to fighting, political infighting. I am willing to find serenity. I give thanks for that. I release this word into the law, and together we say, and so it is.